In this video, we're going to talk about the power of leading by example. So when it comes to actually being a great leader and it comes to creating a very, very powerful action plan, we need to make sure that we are leading by example inside of our business. So we're going to go over some of the benefits of leading by example in the workplace. And one of the most important things is when you follow your own rules, you get more respect and you build more trust with your team. Having trust with your team is one of the number one important components to a very, very strong culture. So someone who leads by example can expect to receive respect from their employees, and they will have people who work alongside of them, and they will have people who will actually want to follow through with all of the things that they're doing. Another benefit of leading by example is higher productivity. So when you lead by example, your team always follows, working just as hard and accomplishing just as much as they do. When you do your part for your organization, your team will strive and they will work to make you proud. And this is hands down the truth. So we want to make sure that we are always leading by example so we can produce better results in our business. This equals more revenue. This equals less delegation because people will take the authority and take the initiative to do things on their own. This also creates loyal employees. So leading by example inspires those around you to enjoy being part of the team and the company. And they want to enjoy the people they work with, including their leader. Satisfied employees have lower absenteeism and they're more positive. And they contribute to more discussions, they volunteer more, they take on more projects. So this is why leading by example is important. There's also more commitment to the organization or to your salon. So when there is positive leadership, employees are generally more committed to the company and they strive to help achieve its goals. And they help develop team mentality and work together to support the company's mission, purpose, and values. And those are so important. When a leader leads by example and works alongside their team, they inspire others to do the same. When you lead by example, there are also higher benchmark standards. Now we're not talking about retail benchmarks. We're talking about showing up for team meetings. We're talking about showing up on time. We're talking about those things that are just expected of our employees. And when we actually lead by example, we actually increase those things inside of our salon. So here are 8 things you can do to lead by example in the workplace. So how can you lead to help create a productive, enjoyable workplace with all of your team members? And we're going to go over step by step some of the things that you can start implementing today. So number 1, following through with your promises is so important. One of the best ways to lead by example and to build trust is to always follow through with what you say. That's why we never discuss any new projects or anything that we're bringing into the salon until it's done, because if something doesn't work out, we lose credibility with our team. So we really want to make sure that we are following through with what we say. A good place to start is following through on your promises, and this shows that the team your level of commitment and helps them place their confidence in you as a leader. You will find that they are more willing to ask questions, take on extra responsibilities, and be more engaged when they feel like they trust you. And following through on promises is one of the ways to do that. When you come to work with energy, it totally changes your culture and your atmosphere, and it's going to lead by example because then your team will always come in as their best. If you want to lead by example, come to work with a positive attitude and a productive energy that translates to increased momentum and motivation as you go about your daily tasks. Your team will pick up on your attitude and naturally mirror it. And that is the truth. I can honestly tell you that. So resulting in productive, supportive team habits, and it's a great place to start really, really honing that culture. Another example of leading by example is working alongside your team. The most effective leaders work alongside their team. Even if you have an office, spend a lot of time outside of it, the more you work with them, the more you'll understand their skills, you'll understand how they do their day-to-day, and this will help you lead better. And answer their questions and guide them to success. If you work closely with your team, you'll build trust and boost the morale. Another benefit of working alongside your team is that you'll have more intimate knowledge of their struggles, and that will help you coach them and help them work through those things. Number 4 is follow your own rules. Rules don't have to be negative. They can help clarify expectations and responsibilities. To lead by example, follow the rules you've set. If you do, your team is less likely to bend or break them. Instead, help the workplace function cohesively. And this is huge, and I think a lot of salon owners struggle with this, is trust your team. Start making sure your team understands your vision, your values, and your goals, and how they play in its success. And trust that they know what to do with their clients. Trust that they know how to care for their business. Trust is huge, because when somebody feels trusted, they're going to feel confident in what they're doing, and then they're going to feel confident in your business. Remember that every employee is hired for a reason, and each brings a particular skill set. So make sure that we hone those skill sets and really make them shine. If you trust your team, you'll only gain their respect, and you'll only serve as an inspiration to the other leaders and create other leaders in your workplace. Always keep up on your training and your workshops. Leaders have to grow. If we're not growing, our team isn't growing. It's important to show your team that you don't know and have all the answers, and you've committed to getting knowledge, education, and insight to excel in your personal role, and this will inspire them to do the same. You want to listen to others. Listen to your employees, fellow mentors, and even your assistants and anyone who's in your business. Listening is so important. Everyone has something of value to add to the conversation. Plus, listening to your team shows you respect them as people and for the work that they do, and you want to know more about them so you can lead effectively. Interact with them in a very meaningful way so they feel confident in their abilities and in your abilities. And last but not least, watch what you say and do. Influential leaders know that their words and actions are up for interpretation. So if you're leading by example, be aware of how your team could interpret what you say and you do. Even in a stressful work situation, try to remain supportive of your team and always offer words of encouragement, and never talk negatively about anyone on your team. So this is how you begin to hold your team accountable. Remember, it starts with the leadership and it works its way down. Start looking and really kind of diving deep into what you are and who you are as a leader, and really evaluate in each one of these areas to see if you are meeting the highest standards or if you're just subpar, because this is what we have to start shifting in order to truly create a very, very solid action plan. All right, let's get started with our evaluation, and I hope you enjoyed today's session.